guys, John Mansell, ex-Boozound. Hope you're doing okay. I think it's no big secret that things haven't been particularly easy over the last few months. But today, this morning, I've had an appointment with both my care coordinator, a CPN, and my psychiatrist. Now, to be honest, this could have happened a lot quicker than it has, but I've been supported very well whilst getting to this point by my new care coordinator. Important thing about your care coordinator is it needs to be the right person. It needs to be somebody who understands you, somebody who will listen to you, somebody who will discuss with you. And this is why the blog's called something along the lines of working with the NHS system. So it could have happened quicker, and there's been issues in between when the care coordinator first suggested a new medication to slot in between my antidepressants and antipsychotics. And in the time that's taken, I've had a couple of letters that were unneeded, unwanted, and incorrect with regard to new appointments. I had an appointment in August which I didn't receive a letter about, and various other things that the administration side or whatever hasn't worked too well. Now, what people have to understand about this is I sent a text yesterday to my care coordinator to confirm that the appointment was going to go ahead today, and he got back to me and said, yeah, it's on the system, it's going ahead, and if there's anything different, he'll give me a shout. Later on that day, I had a phone call from Halesview, which advised me in a message to give them a call back, but they gave me the information that in actual fact the appointment wasn't going to be at Halesview, it was going to be at Hill House. Not a major issue, it's only a little bit further down, well, it's down the road. The problem with that is that if I hadn't, there's a possibility, if I hadn't have checked with my care coordinator and I wasn't in the mood or I wasn't in a good place to receive calls, sometimes when I'm not well, I won't listen to my voicemails. I don't want contact with people. And also I know at times, and I know other people that I've worked with over the years, they just wouldn't make that phone call. So what could have happened there is we would have had somebody who hadn't sent a text and made the phone call, and therefore at 9:30 this morning my psychiatrist and care coordinator would have been sat in an office, and there would have been a complete and utter waste of an appointment. This is what we've got to get through, to the people who run the system. These little admin errors and things like that, they are only very, very small errors, but they can make a hell of a difference to a person's well-being. And if you're on the edge already and you get a letter or a phone call that isn't what you want to hear and is incorrect, it can definitely lead you to spiraling in out of control. But it's really important that we work with the system, with what we've got. No, the NHS isn't perfect, fairly obviously, But we, as people with mental health issues, mental illness, poor mental well-being, friends and family of those around us, need to make sure that we work with the NHS system rather than against. I've seen many examples of people being let down many times, or even just one or two times, and because of that they then refuse to engage with the services, and in doing that it costs the services more money, and also it damages their well-being because they're fighting against the system. Yes, things have got to change within the NHS and social care, but very importantly, we have to take some responsibility for making it better. Because if we fight against it all the time and rail against it and slug it off and are negative about it all the time, then there's no cooperation and we're not working together. So today's appointment went well. We're going to reduce one medication slightly. We're going to stick another medication in between. So I will now be on antidepressants and antipsychotics like I'm already am. And then in between I'm going to be on a mood stabiliser. Because with bipolar and I guess borderline personality disorder, although bipolar is the main diagnosis, it's very difficult to keep a balance between the swings in the moods, and in order to do that you need to know yourself better. You need to know yourself pretty well. You need to put the effort in between the appointments with the professionals, because you're not going to see a professional every other day. It's never going to happen. You're not going to have professionals knocking on your door and saying, "Are you okay?" or what. In between these times, we have to put our effort in, and we have to manage ourselves as well as we can. And we can do that by understanding ourselves better. We can do that by by finding other avenues to help. And the t-shirt I've got on today, which I don't know whether you'll be able to see it, it says "Them and us times working together equals progress and results." The ice cream van's just turned up, so let's see whether the noise goes on. And it's really important that them and us, we have to work together, and if we do work together we get results. Now I'm in a much better place than I was a few weeks ago in the last vlog, and I've just treated myself, because I've been a good boy, to another pair of Adidas trainers that I do not need, but I've been a good boy. I've held things together. I've fought back when I can. I've monitored, I've managed, and I've taken time to make sure that I'm looking after me. So it's really important if you're struggling. If you are struggling and you get these letters and these phone calls that send you spiraling, make sure you've got somebody around you that can understand and can help you deal with those pressures, because sometimes it's almost impossible, when it just flips you over the edge and you're just like, "Oh, I can't do doing this. What's the point? If that's gonna happen, what's the point in even bother trying?" Get some support around you. It's really important that you have that support around you. I'm very fortunate. I've got a huge support network, bigger than anyone would ever need. But the reason my support network is huge is because I'm open and honest and upfront about my mental health issues. I have no shame about it whatsoever. I don't want them, but I've got them, and I've got to manage it, and I've got to deal with it. So it's really important that we work with the system, no matter how under pressure it is at the moment. And just to finish off, I went to the Dudley Integrated Health and Care AGM last night. Spoke to a few people interested in the stuff that I'm I should be doing shortly as a sort of life experience warrior, or what they would call an expert by experience, and just adding my opinions in. Now, I've got a couple of people who will disagree with this, but I'm going to, from what I saw from Dudley Integrated Health and Care last night, there's a lot of positives. There's a lot of people pulling in the right direction. And if you've been let down, which will be probably most of you, it's time to draw a line in the sand and say, okay, they've let me down, and they'll probably let me down again. But as long as I work with them and contact them when I need, turn up when I need, and also learn in between skills and understandings of yourself, or how you can work with yourself when you need to make sure that you get through things. Things are going to get better. It's not, the NHS and social care are not there to fix you. That doesn't happen. What they're there to do is to listen, to understand, and then to enable you, to help you and them help you move forward. I think once people understand that, to move forward with any recovery and whatever issue you're looking at, that they have to work hard and manage, and it's really important that you put the extra effort in. There's lots of different things going on with the NHS at the moment, especially sort of locally. We were Black Country in West Birmingham. We're now Black Country again. So that's it's a little bit of a change. But from what I can see from what Dudley Integrated Health and Care had to say last night, some of the people I spoke to somebody from the ICB, which is, I think, Integrated Care Board as well, and they've got some positive stuff going on. They all know what the challenges are, and they all know, and over the next few weeks and months we'll be hearing from me again and again and again, whether they like it or not, that the only answer to the question is how to move forward with the NHS and social care is early intervention. It always has been and always will be, and even if we've got no money to invest in early intervention, that has to be the priority. Because if you don't intervene early enough, the problems get more and more complicated, and you end up in the system longer and longer. You end up further and further down in the pit. So early intervention is key, and I shall be stressing that and hopefully annoying people along the way. So things are more positive for me. Woohoo! Doesn't matter how bad things get. What really matters is how you react to it. And yes, you can sit back and feel sorry for yourself. I've done that over the last few months, but you can't wallow in it. You got to keep moving forward, and know there's always a reason to keep moving forward. There's always a reason to keep fighting and never give up. It's important that, again, I know an awful lot of people who don't want to engage with services, and I understand why, but it's really important that we draw a line in the sand and accept that things are going to get better, but they can only get better with our input, so them and us working together. Hopefully that's a fairly positive vlog. I hope it gives you a bit of positivity. And if you need help, get out there and ask for it, and not just once, twice, 3 times if you have to. Find different avenues. You can look at my vlogs, or look at my book, or blogs, or there's other people out there that do the same sort of stuff as I do. But make sure you're doing the best that you can. Try and be the best person you can be on any given day. And don't beat yourself up. Make sure that you understand that, you may go down, you may go up, but that's part of the game. That's part of the dance that we have to dance with the demons that make our lives difficult. But always keep going and never give up. And enjoy the good, ride out the bad, and I'll catch you all soon. I'll see you.